Guys, back on the show, Kevin McPherson from Hogville.net. Kevin, let's wrap up the season for men's basketball. 86-73 over Vandy. That was Wednesday, first round of the SEC tournament. And as it stood, that was the last game of this 2020 SEC tournament. Takeaways, what'd you think? Obviously, Arkansas defensively shut down Vandy there in the first half. The Doors only shot 24% in that first half alone.
Yeah, and Arkansas, really, when you look at that game, was probably its best basketball game defensively. When you talk about not only some of the statistics, but I thought the rim protection was the best it's been maybe this season, Drew. You look at between Ethan Henderson and Reggie Chaney, two guys have been really kind of hit-and-miss role players. Henderson's role obviously increasing as he joined the starting lineup for the last few games, but those guys combined for 6 blocks, but they altered a lot of shots, and I thought that was a big difference from what we've seen from most of the season from this Arkansas team was the rim protection. Offensively, I thought they shared the basketball probably better than they have in a while. They had 17 assists on 25 made field goals. But if you look at that, the ball was really moving. Mason Jones led the way with 6 assists with 22 points. I think Arkansas is better. As much as I'm like the next guy, I like to see Mason Jones score 30 or more, but I don't think that's the formula, the best formula for winning for Arkansas. I think it's what we saw against Vandy, where he's picking and choosing. He's setting guys up and scoring some. We saw guys like Desi Seals get 20 points. Isaiah Joe had 18 in that game. So I think this game is a building block. You look at the role that even Jalen Harris had with 5 assists and came into the starting lineup. I thought this game was maybe sort of a model going forward. Arkansas wins on finished the season on a winning note, 20-12. Maybe a model going forward when you start talking about getting that ball moving again. Musselman said at the beginning of the season, 200 passes a game is a goal. I thought we saw Arkansas really move the ball, and that makes the defense work a little harder, makes them a little more tired, too. On the other end of the floor, makes it better for your defense. But again, some of the things we just talked about, I think maybe something to build on, because when you look back on the season, we can go back to Isaiah Joe's injury. You talk about him in the lineup healthy. Arkansas went 17-4 in those games. That's an NCAA tournament team. With him either injured or out of the lineup, Arkansas really struggled. They were 2-3 when he played injured. Obviously, they were 1-5 when he was out of the lineup. So that's what really almost submarine this team. Had they played through the SEC tournament, I think a couple more wins over South Carolina. Had they beaten the Gamecocks, it would have been LSU on the Friday game quarterfinals. I think had they won those 2 games.
All right, I'm going to give you 45 to close here, and let's combine these because recruiting has been shut down on and off campus through April 15th. So take us up to that date and the impact in terms of looking at the spring signing period, and also maybe a couple notes on the NCAA transfer portal.
Yeah, so the spring signing period begins April 15th, and we know that the NCAA has weighed in on the coronavirus concerns and the time frame, and there's no on-campus or off-campus recruiting for the time being, and everything's going to be revisited beginning on April 15th. So that's an interesting date. I would think that players around the country are going to be able to go ahead and sign when that spring period is about a 5-week period. It runs from the 15th of April through May 20th, so I don't see why they would prohibit signings, and Arkansas's got 3 players. Moses Moody out of Little Rock, top 40 national player, K.K. Robinson, also out of the Central Arkansas, and then you got Jalen Williams out of Fort Smith Northside. All 3 of those young men are committed to Arkansas. They've been committed since November. They're expected to sign during that spring period. We'll keep an eye on that. Devontae Davis out of Jacksonville has already signed, but Arkansas's recruiting class, the work had already been done on that, and so I think everything's still pointing to Fayetteville for those young men, and so with all the things that are going on right now and all the stoppage, it should not affect that. But the transfer portal is something players are entering that on a daily basis. That is one thing that has not been halted, and Arkansas has already been in contact with at least 5 players. We know Eric Musselman's playbook for that. We saw it back last spring, and we're going to see more of that. Now, they can't get them on campus anytime soon, but they can recruit, and I think Arkansas, I'll be surprised, Drew, if they don't end up pulling 2 players from the transfer portal for next season roster. Up to 2 would be my guess, maybe more.
Yeah, a very discouraging time knowing that the season was cut short. But 20-12 for the Razorbacks in the first year under Eric Musselman. A lot to look forward to in terms of the guys coming in, and then moving forward, some of the guys that he will retain for the 2020-21 season. Kevin McPherson, Hogville.net. Kevin, thanks very much. Back